Have you ever felt like the world is spinning out of control? Like every headline is another piece of a puzzle we don't want to solve? Wars, technology evolving faster than we can blink, and science playing with the fabric of what it means to be human. It's unsettling, to say the least. Now, imagine waking up to a world where humans aren't just born but engineered, where the neighbor next door could be genetically enhanced to live 150 years, while you're still battling Monday mornings and coffee cravings. Sounds like a sci-fi movie, right? Well, it's not. Over 150 hybrids have already been created in secret labs. Let that sink in. But here's where it gets really wild. Scientists aren't just tweaking DNA. They're planting ideas like we're characters in a dystopian novel. Back in 1997, they grew a human ear on a rat, which seemed groundbreaking at the time. Fast forward to today. Soldiers are being genetically modified, microchips are being designed to upgrade our brains, and the line between human and machine is dissolving faster than we can comprehend. Creepy? Definitely. Necessary? That's up for debate. But whether we like it or not, this is happening. And the scariest part, most people aren't even paying attention. So why should you care? Because what's being passed off as innovation might just be the biggest threat to our freedom and humanity. Remember Oliver, the chimpanzee with human traits who lived 55 years? That was just the beginning. The question isn't if these technologies will change the world. It's how they'll change you. Are you ready to face the truth that most people are too afraid to confront? Stick around, because what you're about to discover isn't just shocking. It could be the wake-up call you didn't know you needed. Imagine a world where genetics is no longer a boundary but a choice. Well, that future is already here. Genetic engineering, powered by CRISPR technology, is breaking barriers and allowing human DNA to be edited as if it were a simple programming code. Scientists have already altered human embryos to correct hereditary diseases and even enhance physical traits. But, as with all things related to the power of creation, this revolution raises unsettling questions. Are we shaping a future where genetically modified humans will become the new elite of society? The idea might sound like science fiction, but it's happening right now. The concept of manipulating DNA to create disease-free humans seems noble at first glance. But what if this is just the beginning? Secret experiments have already shown that science doesn't want to stop there. Just like in 1997, when scientists combined human DNA with that of a rat to create a functional ear, today's research aims to edit genes responsible for cognitive abilities and physical resilience. Before long, we may see humans who live for 150 years or more, with bodies optimized for superior performance. Now, think about it. If eliminating genetic diseases is possible, what stops us from going even further? Who ensures that this technology won't be used to create a new lineage of enhanced humans while the originals become obsolete? The ethical dilemma is undeniable. Will this advancement benefit everyone, or will it remain a privilege for an elite few? The line between natural and artificial has never been thinner, and transforming humanity into something new is just one step closer to the next level: the creation of superhumans. If modifying DNA to eliminate diseases is already a reality, what happens when we push the boundaries further? Some scientists believe that genetic engineering will not only prevent illnesses but also enhance human abilities beyond what nature intended. Imagine individuals with extraordinary strength, heightened intelligence, or even night vision. It's no longer just about survival, it's about evolution by design. The question is, who will have access to this transformation? Will it be a privilege reserved for the wealthy, creating a divide between natural-born humans and enhanced individuals? History shows that technological advancements often start with good intentions but eventually get repurposed. Take, for example, the more than 150 hybrids secretly created in laboratories. What was initially labeled as scientific progress quickly became a topic of ethical debate. If CRISPR can be used to prevent genetic disorders, what stops it from being used to create an army of enhanced individuals with superhuman traits? Imagine athletes with unbreakable bones or soldiers with increased endurance, capable of thriving in extreme conditions. Science is paving the way for what could be the greatest biological leap in human history. However, playing with the essence of human nature comes at a cost. Genetic modifications might seem like a fast track to human perfection, but at what price? The lifespan of Oliver, the humanized chimpanzee, reached 55 years, far exceeding the average of 35 years for his species. Could the same be applied to humans, creating individuals with extended lifespans but unforeseen consequences? The dream of achieving superhuman status is seductive, but as we delve deeper into this unknown territory, we must ask ourselves, where does humanity end and something else begin? The idea of merging human DNA with that of animals is no longer a conspiracy theory, it's a documented reality. Scientists across the globe have already conducted experiments that blend species, claiming it could revolutionize medicine. The concept is simple. By integrating human genes into animals, researchers can test new treatments, grow organs for transplants, and even study diseases in ways never before possible. But when you dig deeper, it's clear that this research isn't just about curing illnesses. More than 150 hybrids have already been secretly created in laboratories, raising alarming questions about the true purpose of these experiments. Let's step back for a moment. Why is this happening in secrecy? If the goal is noble, why aren't these experiments widely publicized? History suggests that scientific breakthroughs often come with unintended consequences. Just like in 1997, when researchers combined human DNA with a rat to create a functional ear, today's genetic experiments push ethical boundaries without considering the long-term effects. What starts as an innocent medical advancement can quickly evolve into something far more dangerous. After all, if we can create a rat with human features, what else can be engineered behind closed doors? This isn't just a scientific dilemma, it's a moral one. When does an experiment cross the line from innovation to playing God? The case of Oliver, the chimpanzee with human-like traits, who lived for 55 years, serves as a haunting example. He was not just an anomaly, he was a glimpse into what happens when science tampers with the natural order. If such hybrids already exist, what else is lurking in hidden laboratories, waiting to be revealed? And more importantly, how long before these experiments step out of the shadows and into mainstream society? Long before modern science began experimenting with genetics, ancient texts already spoke of hybrid beings walking the earth. The Bible, in particular, describes a time when the boundaries between humans and other entities were blurred. In Genesis 6 verse 4, the Nephilim, giant hybrid beings, are mentioned as the offspring of fallen angels and human women. These beings were said to possess immense strength and intellect, leading to chaos and corruption. If such events were recorded thousands of years ago, could history be repeating itself under the guise of scientific progress? The eerie resemblance between ancient accounts and modern experiments is hard to ignore. The story of the Nephilim suggests that humanity has long been fascinated, if not obsessed, with altering its own genetic makeup. Today, we see the same ambition reflected in the laboratories where over 150 hybrids have been secretly created. Whether it's through divine intervention or human experimentation, the result remains the same. Tampering with the natural order leads to unpredictable and often catastrophic consequences. Are we unknowingly walking the same path that led to past destruction? What's even more unsettling is the potential scale of these modifications. If the Nephilim were considered mighty warriors and rulers of the ancient world, what does that say about the genetic alterations happening today? The story of Oliver, the chimpanzee with human-like traits who lived 55 years, proves that genetic modifications can result in beings with characteristics beyond what we've ever encountered. Could the scientific pursuit of hybridization be fulfilling an ancient prophecy? And if so, are we ready for the consequences that follow? History has repeatedly shown that tampering with nature often leads to disastrous results. When civilizations attempt to play God, whether through eugenics, selective breeding, or now genetic modification, unintended consequences inevitably follow. Ancient texts speak of the downfall of societies that overreached, and today, modern science is walking the same dangerous path. More than 150 hybrids have already been created in laboratories, and while the official justification is medical advancement, the potential for disaster looms large. Just because we can alter life doesn't mean we should. Take a look at history's past mistakes. The early 20th century saw experiments in genetic engineering and eugenics under the belief that it would improve humanity, yet it only led to atrocities and ethical nightmares. Fast forward to 1997, when scientists combined human DNA with a rat to create a functional ear, proving that nature's code can indeed be rewritten. But have we stopped to ask whether rewriting it could bring unforeseen destruction? Science often moves faster than morality, and when ethical boundaries are ignored, society pays the price. Even in nature, when a species is artificially introduced or modified, it often disrupts entire ecosystems. So what happens when we modify humans? Oliver, the humanized chimpanzee who lived 55 years, outlived his species' natural lifespan, raising the question, was he an evolutionary leap or an abomination? The pursuit of enhancement may sound noble, but if history has taught us anything, it's that humanity is rarely wise enough to handle such power responsibly. And yet, the experiments continue, now moving toward an even more dangerous frontier: the creation of genetically modified soldiers. Science fiction has long depicted soldiers enhanced by technology. But what if this is no longer fiction? Military research labs are actively developing genetically modified soldiers designed to be stronger, faster, and more resilient than the average human. Some of these advancements include increased pain tolerance, rapid healing, and heightened endurance, essentially an army of superhumans. But as history has shown, any attempt to manipulate nature comes with unforeseen consequences. More than 150 hybrids have already been created in secret labs, raising serious concerns about whether these modified soldiers will be protectors or something far more dangerous. We've seen glimpses of this already. In 1997, scientists combined human DNA with that of a rat to create a functioning human-like ear, a relatively small-scale experiment compared to what's happening in military labs today. The ambition now is not just to create soldiers who heal faster, but those who can fight longer, resist extreme conditions, and perhaps even function without fear or emotion. The ethical dilemma is obvious. If human soldiers can be genetically modified for war, what's stopping governments from expanding these modifications into everyday society? The case of Oliver, the humanized chimpanzee who lived 55 years, serves as a warning. If modifying animal DNA resulted in a being with human traits, what happens when human DNA is pushed beyond its limits? The militarization of genetics is a slippery slope, one that could lead to biological warfare, loss of autonomy, and irreversible changes to humanity itself. And while scientists push the boundaries of what's possible, another field of research is gaining traction. One that aims not just to modify the body, but to control the mind through implanted technology. Genetic modification is just one piece of the puzzle. Controlling the mind is the next frontier. Scientists and tech companies are actively developing microchip implants capable of enhancing memory, controlling emotions, and even connecting the human brain to artificial intelligence. While marketed as a way to upgrade human capabilities, the reality is far more unsettling. Imagine a world where thoughts can be monitored, behavior can be manipulated, and free will becomes a relic of the past. With more than 150 hybrids already created in secret labs, how long before this technology becomes a tool for absolute control? The groundwork for this transformation is already in place. In 1997, a team of researchers combined human DNA with that of a rat to grow a functional human-like ear, proving that biology and technology could merge. Fast forward to today, and the vision extends beyond physical enhancement. Companies like Neuralink are working on chips that allow direct communication between the brain and machines. In theory, this could help people with neurological conditions, but what happens when governments and corporations gain access to real-time thoughts and emotions? Could society soon be filled with optimized individuals, controlled through technology? The idea of altering human nature has always been tempting, but history warns us that such power is rarely used ethically. Oliver, the humanized chimpanzee who lived 55 years, was an example of how genetic modifications can result in something neither fully human nor fully animal. Now, with microchips promising an era of transhumanism, the risk of humans becoming programmable entities is closer than ever. And as technology blurs the line between man and machine, some believe these changes align eerily with ancient prophecies, suggesting that humanity is rushing toward an irreversible transformation. Throughout history, humanity has sought signs of what lies ahead, often turning to ancient texts and prophecies for guidance. Today's rapid technological advances, particularly in genetic modification and artificial intelligence, have many wondering if we're living through those foretold times. The Bible speaks of eras when knowledge would increase and humanity would face moral crossroads. With more than 150 hybrids secretly created and technology evolving at breakneck speed, is it possible that these scientific miracles are the very events warned about in ancient prophecies? It's hard to ignore the parallels. In 1997, the creation of a human-like ear on a rat seemed groundbreaking, but now, with microchips promising to control thoughts and DNA being edited like software, the future feels like something out of a dystopian novel. Yet, what's most chilling is the normalization of these advancements. What was once deemed science fiction is now casually discussed in mainstream media as progress. Are we being conditioned to accept genetic manipulation and technological surveillance as inevitable? So, what's the endgame, and at what cost? Consider Oliver, the chimpanzee with human traits who lived 55 years, a living testament to the consequences of tampering with nature. Multiply that by thousands, perhaps millions, and you have a future where the distinction between human and machine, natural and engineered, becomes meaningless. Prophecies often speak of humanity losing its way, and some argue that we're already there. The technologies designed to improve us may be the very tools that strip away our essence. As these changes accelerate, the real question becomes, will humanity recognize the danger in time, or are we too far down this path to turn back? So, after diving deep into the unsettling truths of genetic modification, hybrid creations, and the race to control the human mind, what are you going to do with this knowledge? You can't unsee the facts. Over 150 hybrids are already a reality, and technologies that once seemed like distant fantasies are knocking on our door. This isn't just about science and technology. It's about your future. Will you stand by and watch as humanity redefines itself? Or will you question the direction we're headed? These aren't changes coming tomorrow, they're happening now. Ask yourself, how far is too far? Back in 1997, when they grew a human ear on a rat, people were shocked. Now, genetic manipulation and microchip implantation are marketed as the next steps in human evolution. Are we being conditioned to trade our humanity for convenience? What happens when you wake up in a world where natural humans are considered obsolete? And let's not forget Oliver, the chimpanzee who lived 55 years with human traits. If science could do that decades ago, what's it capable of now? These are questions you need to be asking. Listen, if you've made it this far, you're clearly someone who cares about what's really going on, and that's rare. Don't let this be just another video you scroll past. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell because knowledge is power, and you deserve to be informed. Don't just sit on the sidelines, be part of the conversation. Are you ready to question everything? Because the future isn't waiting, and neither should you.